does look like we are headed on into the game, so let's go ahead and get on over there for the mulligan.
Lulu Jinx, meaning that either the Lee Sin or the Pantheon Taric was the ban here. Looks like B-Ball's on the burn list as well. I haven't seen this one before. This is the first time that I'm seeing this like Lulu Jinx with the Electro Harpoon and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, it is the first time I'm seeing it with the Electro Harpoon. I was gonna say I've seen this deck in the past, Lulu Jinx.
Yeah.
But yeah, Electro Harpoon is a card that I'm not very familiar with just yet. Actually, what does that do again? I know we saw it earlier, but what's the effect?
You discard a card and then you deal 2 to a unit and the Nexus.
Ah, that's right. Okay. Ooh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, a little bit of reach.
Yeah, that's nice.
For Bandle City because they didn't do good enough already.
Because clearly they need more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually sounds like something that would be in P and Z too, which is weird. So here we go. We got the Electro Harpoon, and this is actually already doing work. I mean, 2 mana to kill a unit, deal some burn damage, and summon something. I will take that any day of the week. Gonna get a gem though. The goat making its return with these faded cards.
Yeah, and right off the top, as you said, there's the Wounded White Flame, the faded cards that are making these gems make their return.
One day, what is it? Mountain of the something? What's the one that fills your hand with gems?
Oh, you would know, not me, Mr. Gem.
I know, I tried it. Yeah, it's Mountain of the something. It just goes to show how well it worked. One day that will be good. I really wanted that to be a thing and work.
I'm surprised you didn't give it a shot again when all the faded stuff came out.
I might. That's why I'm mentioning it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, one day, Jay Medarda will be a thing one day. Hey, at least we got some Medarda lore from the Shell Arcane, right?
So. My theory is that I don't really want to say Arcane spoilers, but like surely everyone that's gonna watch it has watched it at this point, right?
Yeah, this is not. Yeah, you just go for it. Yeah.
All right. So in the show, there's a Medarda, and then like someone's like, "Oh, your brother back in a distant land was assassinated." Now, Jay Medarda says, "When I am targeted and survive, draw a card." So my theory is that he was the target of an assassination.
Wow.
But actually survived.
Okay, listen. Yeah, I'll give credit where credit's due. Riot's very good with the lore and the champions feeling like they do on Summoner's Rift, but I don't know if the text on the card is indicative of
the
what's
funny part
happening.
Is we don't even know if her brother is Jay Medarda. We just know it's a Medarda.
Yeah, right.
And I'm out here coming out, and we know that he's in like Noxus or something. So like, yeah, I'm like, well, there's a P&Z card.
You actually just put all the text together from all the cards, and it makes a story. Like,
yeah, I've completed a spider web. Meanwhile, Broken Ball looks to be in a phenomenal position here, as with a Shark Trainer comes down.
Yeah,
and I mean, with this Flame Chomper still available, it's looking like Beots about to take an insane amount of damage this turn.
Yeah, but we do have some lifesteal now. This Sunforger, another card I haven't seen too much of as of late, but Demacia Targon is usually where we see it pop up, and this will at least do some work as far as that's concerned. This doesn't represent, what is that? That's 13. We're 2 off of lethal. We don't have enough for the get excited. We're so close. So, yep, we are going to go ahead and reorder this attack here to trade with the Sunforger. This dragon,
either way, the Lulu's going down, which is sort of the important part here.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Bandle City Mayor.
Okay, there is an argument to be made that the Mayor is more important to get off the board, but I don't think in this particular deck it is.
So, like I've said, the only things I've really been playing on ladder are Yordles and Bandletree. And let me tell you, whether or not it is the best card on my field, Bandle City Mayor gets targeted 100% of the time.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I will have not played a multi-region follower for 3 turns, indicating that I am very much out of them, and people will still just like 10 mana Thermo Beam my Mayor. And I'm like, I have 2 Yordle Explorers. It's wild.
Dude, everybody's worried about that card, I'm telling you. Yeah. Well, there's a Jinx, though.
I disagree.
Jinx is not going to do a whole lot here.
No, but that Shark Trainer will. I mean, we've got another Shark that's coming out on the next turn. We're getting another unit summoned here with the Get Excited. I'm pretty sure Broken Ball's taking this away on the following turn.
Yeah, this is it always makes me happy to see Shark Trainer doing some work. I love the idea behind this card. I think it could potentially be good in the future. But there it is. Now we're going to get some nice discards, which actually I'm surprised we didn't purple berry first. Or maybe we're digging to get like a get excited or something like that. We could have purple berried something like the flame choppers, right?
Yeah.
But maybe we're just digging for something else off the top.
Wanted to have exactly that 3 mana available.
And there it is. There it is.
If that's what we were looking for, we found it. Although I think Broken Ball's got a really good shot at lethal anyway. We do still have a spell mana banked. And maybe that's why we didn't do it, so that we have a spell mana bank so that we can get another shark.
Yeah.
Because spell mana will be used first by all spells, and you need specifically spell mana to cast.
That's a good point, yeah.
And that is just going to be lethal for Broken Ball.
Those sharks, baby. Doing work there. And Broken Ball going to go up 1-0 on Beots Bro in round 4 here. Again, we are going to be doing 5 of these Swiss rounds today. The last 6th and 7th round are going to be done tomorrow prior to the top cut, starting at the same time. And here we go, getting on into game 2.
All right, Lee Sin up against Stony Suppressor. This is something we've seen in the past. This does not bode super well for Lee Sin, but sometimes it doesn't matter how much your cards cost. You can still just get the Lee Sin stuff assembled. Granted, I don't think they were super streamlined on the last time Stony Suppressor Scouts was like popular, because that was kind of like Tia Fizz era, right?
Yeah, that's
so they still have like Sparkle Flies that they could pillar on. Now where you're more all in on the eye, it's going to be a lot harder to fight through the Stony Suppressor, I think.
Yeah, and we're seeing Stony Suppressor start to make a comeback, not just for Lee Sin, but also a lot of these Ken and Ezreal decks that are popping up. Yeah, this also shuts that down a lot as well. So we'll see if Beots Bro does manage to make it towards the top cut going into day 2, if we can see this in a matchup versus Ken and Ez, which we actually haven't seen as much as I thought we would today. We did see it earlier, but so far we're seeing less as the day progresses.
We are seeing an insane amount of Yordles, though.
Yes, that is correct. Yordles are not, they're sticking around. All right.
Sonic Wave Resonating Strike to kill. Well, it doesn't have to use the Resonating Strike. The Sonic Wave, thanks to the Faded, will do it. And there's no protection available for Beots Bro. This first Stony Suppressor is just going down.
So we keep seeing this Wounded White Flame in Lee Sin deck. This is the second Lee Sin deck now. Is this sort of becoming the standard, you think, for Wounded White Flame to be in Lee Sin decks?
Definitely the day 1 standard. Don't know if it's going to persist through the weekend and into the seasonal per se, but we will see.
It does feel like, I mean, it does a lot for the deck, right? I mean, you get a good blocker early on because it does have, 4 health, which is pretty good. Not to mention it's Fury, so if you're blocking some dinkier units, it will probably be able to make 3 blocks when everything's said and done. And then, yeah, you could also pillar on it. It's a better pillar choice than something like Eye of the Dragon, which we've seen people have to pillar on before.
Yeah.
So.
And that's kind of, it brings me back to the old days of Lee Sin, because as casters, a lot of the time we'll say like, oh, well, the hallmark of a good Lee Sin player is being able to win without Lee Sin.
Yeah.
That hasn't really been true for quite some time. What the good Lee Sin players do now is stall out better until they find the Lee Sin, but very rarely are they winning the game without Lee Sin.
Yeah.
Back in the day when you had like Mountain Goat and Sparklefly and the Fangs and just other units that you could slap a Zenith Blade on and suit up to the moon and take it home, then yeah, you did need to sometimes win the game without Lee Sin. And I feel like that's what Wounded White Flame is taking us back to.
Yeah, I agree.
Because look at this. This is 6-7.
Yeah. With Fury.
Slap a Zenith Blade on that. That's an 8-9 with Fury. Like, that'll win the game.
Yeah, and even Lee Sin. I mean, this is something we don't see a lot of in Lee Sin decks, right? Boulevard, I mean, we have Lee Sin going in without barrier, without having activated it yet, at least. And a 6-7 White Flame next to it. I mean, we're actually being the aggressor early, and this isn't even just to win the game. This is just to control the board.
Yeah, we're going to see single combat, and that does mean that a rather inefficient spell is going to come out of Broken Ball in order to just give this barrier. Oh, no, there's a Pale Cascade. So there's a little strip on your screen that says, like, keep sharing or hide, and that is just covering half of Broken Ball's hand.
Got you. Sorry, I didn't have the OBS up in front either.
Well, there was a Nopify hiding behind that strip.
Yeah, that's an important card.
Yeah, it's hard for me to cast when he's got a 5-card hand and I can't see 3 of them.
Welcome to my world, man, all right?
No wonder you suck so bad.
Thanks, Boulevard.
It's all love
Jesus.
here at the online league series between myself
Every week, week in and
myself.
week out, and yourself.
Yeah,
Between
Doza
Blevins and Blevins.
love, and I have to flame him for it. And that's what you're witnessing.
Oh man, there we go.
So it looks like this is going to be a Gravitum. Stop that Cytheria right in its tracks. And I mean, Garen can't attack without Cytheria. It's a 5/5. It's going to die to the Wounded White Flame. And nothing else can really attack because the Dragonling is just going to chump block it. And you're going to feel like a dummy because you gave your opponent more life. Not to mention Lee Sin has Barrier. Going in anyway. Because we have Challenger. That's right. I forgot that we played the Tattered Banner. Going to give us a persistent Challenger and take the Eye of the Dragon off the field. But I don't know how much it matters, Doza.
I mean, Challenger is really good with something like regen on Garen. So, but like you mentioned, I mean, look at, we're gonna get the White Flame. The White Flame is gonna threaten the Garen again, which is insane. Not to mention now Lee Sin's leveled up, gonna also be able to go into Challenger. So that's the crazy part, right? When you're playing like a Resonating Strike now is insane when you have a Lee Sin and a Wounded White Flame on board. Because you're getting so much, you get the +1/+1 onto the White Flame, plus the Challenger, then you get the attack buff onto the Lee Sin. Oh, by the way, all at the same time, Lee Sin gets Challenger and Barrier. So that's probably the most you're gonna get for 3 mana ever in this game.
Yeah. Well said. That's all I got.
I was waiting because I thought in my head afterwards, I was like, wait a second. What else is 3 mana that does a crap ton? I was like, nope, I can't think of it. Nope, that was accurate. We're good.
I'll tell you what was 3 mana and did a crap ton, and the answer was For the Fallen. But because it's 3 mana, it just gets nopified.
Yeah.
And from here on out, Broken Ball should be able to survive. I mean, we got the Eye of the Dragon reestablished. There's no rally for Beots, bro. If it comes off the top now, maybe we've got a game on our hands because we do have this for Demacia. That'd be a very impactful rally turn, but it's got to be exactly that. And that's not it. That's just another for Demacia.
All right. Well, that is a very large field now. Which means, and we're gonna stun. Okay. All right. I like it. Shutting down a little bit of this, anyways.
Yeah, getting a little bit more health onto the Wounded White Flame. So now the Hush block with the White Flame will let it survive and just, continue to do what it's been doing the entire game, which is basically running things.
Oh, yeah, and the Hush is also going to give Lee Sin barriers. Now Lee Sin can pretty freely block now as well. You might not want to because, let's say there's a single combat in Beot Burrow's hand. That might pose a problem, right? The barrier gets popped by the attack. And then we single combat this 6/7 here into the Lee Sin. And it looks like, okay, we're actually, for that reason, not going to use the Hush and wait on this barrier. I like that a lot from B-Ball.
Yeah, if you lose this Lee Sin, all of a sudden the game actually looks losable.
Yep.
Which actually, if we're being honest, the game still looks losable, right? Because Broken Ball doesn't have lethal. And
there's the single combat. Yep.
But there's a Deep Meditation. And that's going to grab a Twin Discipline and a Guiding Touch. Still a little shy of lethal, as we can only get Lee Sin to 7 attack.
Yeah, I was curious where they were gonna. Okay, I was curious where this Guiding Touch was gonna. Ooh, that's another Wounded White Flame, which is actually not bad right now either. All right, so this could leave us open. This could leave us open to a single combat, or actually no, because the Dragon's Rage is just gonna get rid of it. Okay, yep.
That's why the problem I think that me and most players have had with Lee Sin is that it continues to get barrier on the backside, which doesn't feel necessary. It feels overprotected because it's not actually sending itself into combat, so it won't pop its own barrier.
Yeah.
Like front side, it makes sense. Sure, you got to challenge something. The Challenger and barrier is very, very good. On the backside, it makes a little bit less sense.
Ooh, Crescent Strike, a really good pickup here
man,
as well.
Broken Ball just continues to find everything he could possibly need and more.
Yeah, and more being a second Lee Sin. God forbid we actually lose this one. So, wow. All right, now there is 2 for Demacia. This is going to be another big attack. I'm actually very surprised with how well Beots Bro is continuing to put on pressure, and really, B-Ball's not able to deal with this field well at all right now.
No, but he does have lethal next turn, which is, I'd say, good enough.
winning the game sometimes is good, yeah.
Yeah, the Crescent Strike really just stopping this attack is all that Broken Ball needed. Now he does
Mhm,
still have to be slightly scared of a rally,
mhm,
but only slightly, and that's why you're going to see things like this Twin Discipline committed. We no longer need that for the Lee Sin lethal,
mhm.
and he could even play the Lee Sin here and lose it to the single combat because there is a backup Lee Sin in hand.
Yep. Yeah, problem is there's a chance you don't get the barrier and challenger because you're using a spell this turn.
Well, you wouldn't need barrier.
Well, possibly. I mean, then what if another single combat gets? Or actually, everything won't be 6 attack at that point, right? Because they're gonna
Yeah.
lose the buff. So yeah, okay. Yep. There's a guiding off the top. A
So
Garen.
Garen makes his re-entry into the online league series and just puts on an absolute masterclass on why he wasn't here in the first place.
It feels like I'm watching a bad version of Yordles. Like
Yeah.
this is literally what we're watching right now.
You know, I was thinking about elites yesterday. I'm like, everyone's been talking about Yordles. What about elites? Huh? What about them? And it turns out now we have our answer.
I thought you said Elise there for a second. That's another champion we've yet to see in a little while. So
We saw Sentinel control.
yeah, but I just feel like she's not nearly as impactful as she was for.
We haven't
a
seen
while ago.
Spider.
Yeah, Spiders
And I know,
especially.
I know you wish we saw Spiders.
I wish. Yeah, I'm kind of mad that they keep releasing Spider
actually,
support and it's never good.
Worth noting, Beots Bro actually could have lived here by single combating the unit that is being challenged by the Lee Sin into the Wounded White Flame.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, because there's no overwhelm.
I don't think it would have mattered solely because you're losing your entire board this turn. You're still taking a little bit of damage. Your hand is another 4 Demacia. I don't think you are. As long as that
B-Ball's
dragon is
winning.
winning, I don't think
Yeah.
B-Ball's winning.
Yeah, ultimately B-Ball's winning that game, I think. But